Akash Chopra, good afternoon. Is it audible?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
A little louder. I can't get your voice.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Only you. This group link through which you joined, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I can go with sharing. What's the time now? 30 minutes. We will try to complete.
Oh, at last you got it, Shivram.
Now only one student.
At last, named there.
Hey, wait. Is the screen visible now? So
Yes,
today
sir.
the discussion Java object blueprint and instantiating objects. These two concepts we'll see along with one more project is included in it.
Okay, sir.
To make an object with preset values out of, first you see the block of code. The class is a car and the objects, instantiating, that is the same name of the class public car. And one string is passed, string value is passed under this method. Then the same values what we are having in the class declaration, the variables what we declared, on the same name it is assigned. You can also refer when we are providing the widget variables and mapping the widget variables with the XML IDs. There we will use the same, but somehow I changed the naming of these variables recently. This is called public in bold font, which is available. That's a instantiating the object variables. So first, prior the string, the declaration or rest with the class data variables. To make an object with preset values out of the class definition, there is a need to include a constructor method. Java will create one as default constructor. This method will need to be named same on the class name. So here class car is a class and the object which is the constructor through which the public on the same name of the class that is created. This method will need to be named the same as the class name. In this case, it would be the car constructor method and should be the first method that is defined inside the class construct after the variable definitions. The example is provided in it. The constructor method is used to construct an object and configure it and load it into the memory for the purpose when it comes in the runtime. The first thing to do is to make the variable declarations undefined by removing the equal sign and initial data values. So the constructor can be used to set the variables differently from each object created using the particular class. If all the objects are created using the class, need to have the same string variables. That's a default concept, same string variable, starting the same variable names has to be used. This constructor method will set the data values as part of the construction and configuration of the car object, which is given as an example. And the Java code for the car constructor method contains the data field initialization values, not the Java class itself. If you have to sit and verify with the example, you can get the clear meaning of this. Is anybody waiting in the room, waiting room? No. Akash, are you listening?
Yes,
Good,
sir.
good, good. Okay. Some Java classes are built to create objects, others are built to process logic. There are types of classes through which we can create the object as well as methods. What we used in our up to now Android programming, we used process logic, programming logic or manipulation logic methods we used in our application up to now. The Java constructor method differs from a regular Java method in number of distinct ways. First of all, constructor method does not use any of the data return types. Void, int, or float, these are all not used in the return type format. That's the first difference. It is used to create a Java object rather than to perform some function. When we are working with the function manipulation, the return we will mention. But when we are doing this constructor method, no return type is used. It does not return nothing. Example, void keyword or number, int, double, float keywords are not used. It returns an object alone. We have worked with moving objects in between activities. One of the application project we have completed in our class discussion. You take that code and refer what happens in it. Akash Chopra, do you remember passing objects between activities? Prior to that, we saw passing data between activities. Do you remember? Akash?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Just a minute, I hope. Connected with the phone. Okay. Okay, next difference between the constructor and a standard method is constructors must use a public access control modifier and cannot use any non-access control modifiers such as static, final, abstract, or synchronized. These are all. This is the second difference between constructor and to a standard method. What the standard methods are used for the functional purpose for manipulation logic. Constructor is for creating new object in your work. A constructor method must be called or invoked in connection with the Java new keyword. We have already used new keyword where in the sense intent I, intent space I, or some name, variable name we can provide is equal to new intent. If you remember that particular code, when we worked with the intents, there we use the new keyword to create the new object. The new keyword creates a new object in a new area of system memory. This here, instantiating objects, the Java with new keyword. To create instance of an object, instantiate it. This shows the creation of two car objects. The car object is a car class and its object's definition is an example in this particular discussion along with its moving on. This shows the creation of two core objects as well as how you would use these core objects along with the dot notation used to create call the methods which would operate upon them. See here on create method, this is the default after the activity, the class definition. After that, you can see this on create method will be available in your every application project code. Thereafter, 3 lines. What is done in the sense two for that's for comment purpose. Then create 2 new car objects by using the car constructor method. Car, that's a object. What is that? The variable car1 and car2. In two lines you can see using the new keyword that refers the car object again car, and 4 parameters are used. 20 yes and blue. You can see more than 4 we had in our explanation. String, name of the car, int, speed of the car, what it's moving in what speed, then gear position 1 to 4 or 1 to 5, and reverse also applicable under this. Then int drive train, then string direction, color, and fuel. Here in this example, 4 parameters are created with the object. Name of the car may be 20 and yes, blue color of the car. Here are the same second also with 4 parameters. Invoking these 3 methods on car object through the use of the dot notation. Car1 dot shift gears that is available. Accelerate speed 15, turn wheel E. These are all not defined in the previous code example, but here it is given. Invoking three methods on car to objects. So based on the name of the object, the parameters can be invoked or passed with this values for the manipulation purpose. The Android application is created with the onCreate method. Two car objects were instantiated and configured. It is done with the car class constructor and the car object name along with the Java new keyword. See here the lines of code, only one line. This is a common syntax. The syntax for doing this is very similar to what we use to declare our variables in other manner. Variable type, variable name, and optional variable starting data value that are initiating the variable value on the declaration time itself. Okay. Object instances will be declared similar to this with an object constructor, object name, and configuration values can be done. The line to invoke our methods, object name, method name, the object name is car1 or car2, method name is shift gears, parameter list, and the variables is 3. This is a way, and in this, this is over theoretical concept what we discussed. This is rest with two concepts, the Java object blueprint as well as instantiating objects. Instantiating objects. These two concepts are covered in the theoretical mode. Akash Chopra, is it audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yesterday what we saw, the same is available in the next. What we saw showing the activity. That's I put in the second part. So this is a activity. Screen life cycle in Android. This is not in need of definition for you right now. Am I right?
Okay, sir.
We discussed yesterday. One more new today, along with in our class mode, I have to conduct all three concepts. Today for you, the new one will be button click events. Already we are aware about that. Vanshida Dikshit. Okay. I hope. Vanshida, good afternoon. You can unmute and discuss now. Vanshida, is Vanshida belonging to 5L? Akash Chopra,
Yes, sir.
is Vanshida belonging to 5L?
Yes, sir.
Yes. 5011. You can unmute Vanshida and say, good afternoon. Akash Chopra and Vanshida Dikshit. Now see this. There are 5 buttons are placed in the design. See here. The usage of button and toggle button in Android app. That's a problem. To show the usage of buttons by creating a simple app in Android Studio is a problem. The idea of Android app creation and the Java functions for the manipulation logic of button click to be known to you. How we will do these button after designing buttons are provided with the XML ID. Then in the manipulation, these widget variables to be declared at the initial stage. Under the onCreate method, we have to link these declared Java widget variables with the XML IDs. Then using setOnClick listener, that's a click event procedure through which we can access the button click activity. This is a common thing. You are already known in clear manner. We have seen everything before discussing, before providing this example. We know in blind mode. Now with the help of that reference, you can listen further. The operations, button click events handling, practices learning the concept of usage of button and toggle button in Android app. The button view is one of the most commonly used views on an activity. Now you are clear what is meant by activity. It is a single screen on the Android app. A single page on the Android app is referred to the activity. This app shows the basic types of button views and the various ways to handle the events. So create a new project with the name button usage and design the activity main XML as the first activity as per the below design. You can see these are all the information display, button 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are all given here. Now I'll open the Android Studio. And this is a toggle button which will have underline a blue color mark will be available on this button. That's called a toggle button. In your palette, you can find this button under the buttons group category. Vanshida, are you listening? Where is Vanshida gone? Maybe she will be in the campus, I think. Akash?
Yes, sir.
Maybe. So I'm marking her attendance and removing. Have you downloaded the project of yesterday's discussion from the G Drive?
Yes, sir. I have downloaded it today.
Today you are supposed to download, already downloaded.
No, sir. I have already downloaded it. Actually, sir,
Very
I
good.
want to say
Have
one
you
thing.
gone through that? What happens in it?
No, sir. I was just seeing the your project. So actually, I was
Okay.
having some classes and we were having some tests
Okay, good, good,
by
good. When
different
time
teachers.
permits, you go through. Time permits, you go through with the lecture
Okay, sir.
notes and the available project folder.
Okay, sir.
See, this is the design. See here, button 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the toggle button. As for the attributes, if you see, first we will concentrate on the ID. Toggle button is provided as toggle capital B button as the ID, and button 5, BTN5, BTN4, BTN3, BTN2, and BTN1. These 6 are as a manipulation XML IDs which is used in this design. So BTN has to be included. BT1, 2, 3, 4 I used that. Okay. So the wrong thing, you can do that. What happens now? Just we know clearly from here. So I have used BT1, BT2 for the widget variable names button. Okay. Then toggle button. These two are widget data types and their variables are declared here. The same is now linked with the XML ID. Then if it's over, the button 3 alone up to now what we saw in the same procedure we are invoking. Okay. See what is happening here. The same BT3 set on click listener. If so, on click. This is default block. Up to now we practice this. In this, a toast message button 3 was clicked is produced. In toggle button, when you are pressing, this to be happened. Toggle button is checked in the sense in underline, it will have the mark on it, blue line. Then if TB is checked is negated, that is not checked, it has to say toggle mode is off. If the particular toggle mode is checked in the else part. It has to say toggle mode is on. So in such a way, we can produce a message with the toggle button using on click listener. The same two methods for button 3 as well as toggle button. Up to now, what we use is the same concept based coding we have included. But button 1, 2, and 4 and 5. Isha Agarwal is rest with our class. Isha Agarwal, yes. See here, in such a way, it's given BT1 set on click listener, a new function is defined. Button 1 special. For button 2 click, button 2 special method is used. For button 4, accordingly, separately we have used to show the uniqueness. Using the on click listener, here we have used a set on click listener method. Here on click view dot on click listener button 1 special is equal to new. Using the new keyword, the same is again created. The same object is once again created for the current usage. Then public void on click, we have given this particular. Here we are not mentioning whether it's a button 3 or button 4. What is clicked accordingly from the particular button view, the text is now fetched back. In such a way, for 1, 2, 4, and 5, all are now defined here. The click event with another method of approach, how we can make the click, that is insisted on this particular project. So these two are the up to now what we commonly discussed content. On the same on create, we are defining our own methods, functions. In the function, we have declared what to be done. This is another way of approach. Now I will run this project. Okay, this is not me to move. Just a minute, I'm stopping the sharing. Again, I will share. Okay, now the project is initiated. That is in execution mode. Akash Chopra, are you attending from the home now?
Yes, sir.
Good, good. Now, this auto app we have installed in the AVD, auto launching app will be now launched. We have to close that. Then we can get our current execution. This is the auto launch application, what we are having in our AVD. Whenever the Android boots up, that will be initiated. How it will be applied on this. Yeah. So this is the example. If you are pressing button 1, a message that is with the user defined methodology using what is that? On click listener alone. View dot on click listener. That is the button 1 special. When we are pressing the button, this will be called BT1 set on click listener. This will be called under this. It moves to this particular object. Again, that is new on click listener is initiated. Under this, what message we are having? We have not provided any what button is pressed information here. Only was clicked is provided. But see here, we have mentioned button 3 was clicked in our normal method. In such a way, button 1 special BT1 accordingly for BT1, which is linked with the BTN value of this XML. In BT1, what we have given the text. See the text BT1, it's in the string values. Go to this BT1, the button 1. This value will be fetched on the particular part. And in every remaining 1, 2, and 4 and 5, all are not provided with its specific number of button. Only this text is used here. From the widget, the text will be collected, and then in the concatenation mode, this will be printed. Now see the output on the message box. Button 1 was clicked. Button 2, what text we provided in the XML, that is now fetched. Button 3 is our normal, it is not fetching the value. We have provided the text value under this. And button 4 was clicked. And for button 5, the text value is fetched and it is provided on it. The toggle button, now default it will be in off condition. See the code. When it is clicked, it is now enabled with the is checked, in the sense the mark will be available on the output. See here, the green color, it changed to on. See here, once again you see toggle mode is on. When it will say toggle mode is on, if it's not clicked, it is negated, in the sense it will go to the true part, toggle mode is off, it will say. When we are clicking the button, is checked is enabled. So in this if block, it will move to the else part. Here toggle mode is on will be shown. When you are disabling that, the checking is disabled. When it moves to the off condition, again it is verified and this condition will be again printed. See this, toggle mode is off and toggle mode is again on. This is the explanation for the button click event. Everything are provided in the tutorial. Only the thing XML IDs are provided with BTN. Here in the tutorial, it's given as BT. That I have to change and give you. So here all are provided with BTN3. The same XML code and the string values what we used, and each and every button how we are making use of this already seen method during on create itself using set on click listener. What we did, that's used for toggle button and button 3, and button 1 and button 2 in special mode. We are writing the code up to now what we didn't learn, that's provided, and manipulation code also provided. At the end we are having the output, the same what you saw now right now, the same is now provided in the screenshots. So when this is over and we are having another exercise, yesterday what I trained you, that exercise is existing in it. That is not to be discussed with you right now. Already we saw activities. Akash Chopra, is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. This project also will be available on the drive. What is the name? Usage button or button usage is the name of the project. Shall we terminate 1:35? I'm having class in the classroom mode.
Okay, sir. No issue.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you, sir.
Thank you. I'm terminating this. You can log out.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. 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 Welcome.